Good evening, everyone. This is Sharon Rankin, along with my husband, Dave Rankin. Careful, Davey. So we're delighted to welcome you to our Mission Possible call this evening. How fun. We're going to have such a fun time tonight. And Nancy's actually hosting us. But before I turn this over to our super host, Nancy Jakovac, I just want to thank you all so much. You had choices of where you could be this evening, but you've chosen to be on your Mission Possible team call. And I know that you're going to be blessed and inspired and encouraged because of it. And each week when we come together, it is to encourage one another, and it's certainly to remind ourselves of our mission. The greater mission is inspiring healthy living around the world. That's our company mission. But the Mission Possible team has a mission as well, in that we are a growing team of inspired individuals, agents for change. I hope you see yourself as an agent for change. Agents for change who are dedicated to creating a more prosperous life for as many as possible now and in future generations. That's a little long, but it's still impactful. So I'm going to turn this over to Nancy Jakovac, National Marketing Director out of Shiloh, beautiful Shiloh, Illinois. So welcome, Nancy.
Thank you so much. Beautiful, chilly Shiloh, Illinois tonight. And I don't know if all of you are aware of this, but once a week, your national marketing directors get together, and once a month, your leadership team gets together, and we really try diligently to put together a good format for these Monday evening calls. And just earlier this year, Sharon Rankin, with many of you, were part of that pajama regional that took place, and Sharon heard something that just inspired all of us to create this call for tonight. She heard someone say on that call that if everybody understood the value of residual income, that we would be breaking down brick walls to get some of it. So that made us stop and think, who do we know who's most qualified to speak to all of you about the power of residual income? And we didn't have far to look, did we, Sharon? We didn't have too far to look, because we're each married to men who were very successful before they joined the Juice Plus company. And so we decided to let those guys tell the story tonight. And we've got Dave Rankin and Ron Jakovac, both successful businessmen before they became successes with the Juice Plus company. So we're going to start by hearing their stories. Dave, we'd love to hear a little bit about what your background was and just what made you give that up to pursue this business model.
Well, thank you, Nancy. Thank you so much. And it's great to see all you smiling, happy people on the call tonight. It's great to be invited to be part of this. And I'm sure, Ron, you're excited too to share. My background, I was a financial planner, CFP. I was involved with investments, insurance, real estate, that whole gamut there in the 1980s. And I did well in that business, and I was used to making really good money. But, like today, what the stock market dropped like 1,000 points or something crazy, right? And you're not in control of that. And I found myself in that condition back in, if you're around back then, 1987, when the stock market crashed. And I found myself in a career that, I was twiddling my thumbs. I was used to making good money, but my income had gone down, and just because nobody was doing anything. Now, today, the economy is doing well, and I think it was just what do you call that? Just a
correction.
Correction, yeah. Healthy correction. I think it's great. It should be, because it's been going too crazy. But anyways, there was some fundamental problems in business, and the real estate and investments in interest rates and all that. But I said, man, do I want to do this for the rest of my life? And so I came across our business in 1989, and what attracted me, first of all, I saw people of average abilities making above average income, and that you could go out there, and we'll talk a little bit about it here tonight, where you can build that residual income, that ongoing income that just comes in month after month after month, and you can do it. And anyways, my background, that's where I was, financial planner. I started with the company in 1989, what is that, 29 years ago, I started with the company, and I started on a part-time basis, and I started getting checks with commas in it very quickly because I went to work. I saw the potential of what we have here and went straight up to National Marketing Director. So back to you, Nancy.
Okay, Dave, thank you. And then we're going to hear a little bit about Ron's background because his was a little bit different from yours. Ron, you want to jump in there?
Quite a bit different. I've never worked for anybody in my life. I'm born and raised poor, and went to college. And after I got out of school, I wanted to go in business for myself. And I was fortunate enough to know the banker, and I got involved in the bowling business and ended up owning or being in partners with the banks for several bowling centers. Ended up working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. And I thought, where am I going with this? I was earning a good living, but I wanted that residual income. I wanted money coming in even though I wasn't there. See, when you're in business for yourself, particularly a small business, you have to be there. If you're not there, you will not earn the income that you want to earn. So consequently, you end up being there all the hours and earning significant income, but your time isn't your own. And I wanted that time freedom, and I also wanted that residual income. You're kind of married to the corner, particularly when you're in a business where there's a building involved, because you have rent, you have taxes, you have all those things, you have employees, and it just takes from the bottom line. Our business, I got involved in 1988, full-time in 1990, and my wife and I have been doing it together ever since. This is our sole source of income, is the Juice Plus business.
Okay. All right. I love his story. I'm so happy that he decided to come on board. He was my first major recruit in this business. And boy, I definitely recruited up, no question about it. So let's talk now about residual income. I'm going to start with Dave and ask you, Dave, if you would just describe, because some people I don't know if they're totally aware of what residual income actually means. So if you would share a few words on that, Dave, we'd appreciate it.
Sure. Residual income, Ron touched a little bit on it. Reoccurring income, an income that will happen where you've done something and then you're going to get paid on that ongoing, on and on and on and on and on. Residual, it just means it just keeps on going on and on and on. And it's like you own a piece of rental property. In that you rent it out and you're getting that rent every single month, that type of thing. Or you own some land and you rent land out, or if you've done songwriting, or you've had other kind of investments or you've made an investment in bonds or stocks or CDs that pay you dividends, and it just can continue to pay you over and over and over.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
I guess the best thing I call it, the simple definition, I say, is mailbox money.
There you go.
There you go.
And we used to
now it doesn't even come to mailbox. It just auto deposit right in your bank.
Right in the account. You're right, Dave. But we did used to say the hardest thing we do each month is walk to that mailbox to get the check, right? Thank you. Now we're gonna go back to Ron. And Ron, how does residual income differ from the income that you get from a job or a job?
Well, my personal belief is that if you're always trading hours for dollars, you will never get ahead. If you're trading hours for dollars, you have to get into something where you have you build something and you have that income coming in. And you can take a week off, a week. Now, to get it started, you have to put that pedal to the metal, so to speak, and be willing to do those things. Traditional business, like I said before, you have the rent, the taxes, the employees. The biggest thing with employees, say you have 20 employees, is that FICA. That's the Social Security. The employer is responsible for 7.5%, and the employee is responsible for 7.5%. So that can be enormous. Some people want to get in business for themselves. They borrow money. They borrow from their relatives. They borrow from their home, get involved in a restaurant, and very few of them make it. Ours, the chances of earning a good living is very, very, it's out there for you if you want to go after it. In my business, we would work hard. You know, the bowling business, it goes good for about 10 months. In May, things slow down. So in May, our fiscal year would end and we would get our bonuses and be substantial. Now you had slow months in June and July. So I had to turn around and give the money back to the corporation so we could make it through those months. Here we have that residual income coming in every month. That's about all.
I would like, we don't always talk about this maybe, but explain what happened in our situation a few years ago when we brought Dad to live with us. You know, up to that point, we had been seriously working this business day and night.
We wanted to work it day and night so that we could be in a position where we would start getting that residual income. And when her dad got sick in 2001, we bought another house, and we were able to take care of him and have that residual income coming in. And it was very, very important to us.
Extremely important, because we can't always predict where our life is going, can we? We're not always in control of what's right around the corner. And, you know, a lot of people who have those JOBs and have to take time off lose the income while that's going on in their lives. That certainly didn't happen in our lives, and it was a true blessing. So those are some differences between residual income and jobs. Dave, you touched on this briefly initially, but what are some other ways that residual income can be created other than our business model? I'll start there.
You hear of like royalties in the music business where you've written a song. You know, maybe you've written a song, and I know friends that have written songs in 5 minutes, and then it gets picked up by some artist or so, and they're getting paid on that for the rest of their life, or as long as that song's popular and being played out there. So they're getting residual or ongoing income from those properties that they've developed. And same thing, like I use, like you talk about, like a lot of people in insurance, and they go out and they develop a client base in the insurance marketplace, and that every time their constituency is paying their policies, they get a piece of all of that insurance business, and they take care of their clients and doing that. So they can build up a little residual income going that way. You know, same thing on rental income, or like you're buying some bonds, or you're buying CDs that just pay you interest month after month after month. So there's some and dividends on a company.
Savings.
Well, your savings, savings, like your CD that pays you income. But the thing is like in our business, some people might say, like, you can build up in just a first month. You know, somebody can go out there and develop a $200 a month income, building a small customer base with 10 or 15 customers, and they're making $200 or $250 a month. Do you realize what you've done for $250? Now you have this $250 a month coming in. You know what you would have to invest to earn that $250 a month? You would have to have $100,000 in the bank. If you could get 3%, if you can get 3% on your money, if you invested $100,000 at 3%, you would earn $3,000 a year on that $100,000 in the bank, and that would pay you $250. That's $250 a month. 3,000 divided by 12. So you're talking, you developed basically a $100,000 business, but you haven't had to put $100,000 in the bank. You've just gone out there and shared and talked with some people. And I love the definition that Chris Cotton says about what our business is and recurring income. And residual income is being paid for the rest of your life on your next conversation.
Wow.
There you go.
That's strong.
Somebody's generated $500 a month. How much would you have to put in the bank to earn $500 a month? You'd have to have $200,000 in the bank at 3% interest to earn $500 a month. Here we can go out there and just build a qualified business. Somebody goes out there and gets their business established and builds some, some families and starts a small group and gets going from there. And that's what I saw. I saw that, and that's why Sharon says, I'll run through a brick wall to get to that. How fast can I get that residual income going? Because now let's say now you get your check to $1,000 a month. You've got that base coming in. Next month, now you can go and start it all again. You can go out there, become a sales coordinator, break another sales coordinator, keep growing your group. Then you get to that $2,000 a month, then you're $3,000. I'm the poster child. I said, I'm going to work 8 to faint for 5 years. I'm just going to put the blinders on and go to work. And how fast, because I'll work 24 hours a day to be free. And that's what we're talking about. You can go out there and literally set yourself up financially to be free. Have that ongoing income coming in.
That's good.
Wherever you want to go.
So what I'm hearing you say, Dave, is that there are people on this call who might be saying, I just want to build a customer base. Some residual income is there for them, right?
Absolutely. That's awesome. I think that's great. We have the people that want to make just $100 or $500 a month or $1,000 a month or $1,500 a month. Where else are you going to go out there? I mean, you're going to get your hands on hundreds of thousands of dollars to generate that income. We can go out there just by having conversations with people. And I always, we don't sell a product. We sell something that people need. We sell a solution to people.
There you go.
There you go. So then there are also people on this call who are like you were 29 years ago, Dave, saying, let me loose. I want to build a team. Now that's residual income on a different level, right?
That's just like, you start a franchise, and now you've got that franchise up and running. And now you go, boy, I got this one humming really nice. Let's go do another one, another one, another one. And now you've got hundreds of those franchises out there knocking, sending money that you've helped establish and that they're paying money to you to establish all those franchises. And that's, like I say, you just go as big as you want to go. I just wanted to go big. So that's all.
You did, Dave.
And I think we're getting pretty close to, I've got a couple questions that I want to ask Ron, and then we're going to ask you both for final thoughts. But I don't know how many of you know this, but in 1989, Ron was inducted to the National Bowling Hall of Fame for accomplishments as a proprietor. Now that's an accomplishment, and that is something that a lot of people strive for. And yet 1 year later, just 1 year later, he turned his back on that career and came into the Juice Plus company, what was then NSA, much to the surprise and amazement of a lot of people. What encouraged you to take that leap, Ron?
Well, really, the only reason I got involved in this business is for the residual income, is for an opportunity to work hard for a little while, do what most people won't do for a little while, so you could start getting that residual income. Give you an example. Last November, Nancy and I took a month off. We went through the canal. We were on a cruise. We were in Florida for 4 or 5 days. Our income went up because of the residual income. Had I been in the traditional bowling business, my income, I'll guarantee you, would have went down by quite a bit. But on the income that we earn, Nancy and I, we would have to have, this is a residual income, we would have to have $4,500,000 in the bank to get the income that we get yearly. We couldn't save $4.5 million. Nancy's a shopper.
It's all my fault.
she will not allow me to accumulate money and some place to put it. So it's easier for us to build a business like this than to try to save that kind of money. You know, it's according to what people want. You know, I'm thinking 4.5 million if you got 6% return would give you our income. So you can see it's substantial. And if I keep Nancy out of the malls, we can make it on that. You know?
And Nancy, it's like, I'm sure like everybody here on who's here that's part of our team, part of the business, I can look back. I'm still getting paid on stuff that I did 29 years ago.
Exactly.
29 years ago, I went to work, and I'm still getting paid on that. That's what we're talking about. And some of you, same thing. Things that you did when you got started, you're still getting paid on that monthly. And the thing is, just keep adding to it. Keep adding to that. Keep adding to that. And it just goes beyond your wildest dreams.
And I think the big thing is, you know, the customer base. Everybody has a customer base, and we really don't lose that many customers. You know, if you do the good follow-up, you pretty well hold on to 90% of them, you know, and that's important, and just build on that. Okay.
Yeah. For those of you, you know, who are building huge customer bases, and there are some of you on this call. Sharon shared some numbers with me today. If you make it to the sales coordinator level, and pretty much anybody who sticks with us for a good long while will make it to that top commission level, just a single trio order is worth almost $230 a year to you. So how many trio orders do you want to accumulate? How many team members do you want to add to your organization who are bringing on people buying trio orders? It's so amazing at how one customer well taken care of, as Sharon loves to say, can not only give you this residual income, but lead you to others too. So we want to appreciate everything you fellas have said. Dave, I know you look like final words are just ready to spill to the surface. What could you give us as your final thoughts to wrap up on this?
Well, I just say dig in and go. Just get, you know, and like Sharon says, run through that wall. It's worth it. It's worth it. You get time freedom where you can do what you want, when you want, where you want, with who you want to. You just can't put a price on that. And it's just that the freedoms to then, you know, Sharon and I, we spend time doing a lot of things outside of this business too, and volunteering wise. And the time we can free up to do that. And you're like, when you guys are on your trips, you're still getting paid, or your checks are going up even while you're gone. Where else can you do that? You got something that everybody needs. Nobody has. We're priced to sell, priced for profit. It's very affordable, and it's not going away. People are needing this for the rest of their lives. So you can bank on that, and you got that. So just go out there and build it, and sky's the limit. Just build and build and build. Just keep on growing your team, keep on growing your customers, and God bless all of you.
And the other thing that I think is important in respect to that, Dave, is we can do that with a feeling of security, because everything this company does shows us that they are there for us for the long haul. Would you agree with that?
Yes. Amen.
No question. How about you, Mr. Ron? You got any final words?
He
loves to get the last word.
Like to get the last word.
Finish us off, Ron.
Every once in a while, I like
I hope that we have a lot of fellas on the call looking at it for the first time. It costs $50 to get involved with us. Not like a bowling alley where millions, and if you're born and raised poor, you borrow that money, and the bank always gets paid first. And this one, you can move to the top. You can go all the way to the top. It's according to you. We all start basically in the mailroom, and you can be the CEO of your own company, and you too can get that residual income. And that's the key to life today, is having money coming in that you've worked for, You satisfy that customer base, and it just keeps coming in, and you just keep adding to those customers. Okay?
What do you tell people you are, Ron? What kind of millionaire?
I'm a virtual millionaire.
A virtual millionaire.
I'm a virtual millionaire. Nancy won't allow me to save that much money.
They get that. They get that.
So I'm a virtual millionaire. Hey, enjoyed talking to everybody. See you next time.
Any last thoughts, Sharon?
Well, I just want to thank Nancy and Ron and Dave for leading us so beautifully. And, you know, something I was thinking that Dave said, just going to say that he worked 8 to faint. And he would work 24 hours. But, you know, fortunately nowadays you don't have to work that many hours to make it do well in this business. With our launch parties, launch calls, Zoom, there's so many ways that make our business, I think, very simple and duplicatable today. And you can make a significant income using the tools and the techniques or the technology that we have. I just want to encourage everybody in that. If you think you've got to work 24 hours, you don't. You don't.
I don't.
And you can still make a good income if you'll work the system.
But if you want to really go to the top, you got to get
committed.
You got to get that plane off the ground. You got to put that pedal to the metal for a little while. And, you know,
I agree.
And at some point, make it a priority. At some point. It can't always take the back seat. But boy, you guys, we really enjoyed you fellas. Why don't you unmute the lines, Sharon, and let everybody cheer these guys on. Good job.
Thank you, Ron and Dave.
Thank you.
Good night.